They tried to break you, but you didn't shatter. They tried to silence you, but your voice only grew louder. Have you ever felt like you don't belong in this world? Like you were sent here for a higher purpose? If you've been battling storms that others can't even comprehend, if you've been walking a path that feels both lonely and divinely guided, then listen closely. You are not just another soul wandering this earth. You are a chosen one, a being with a mission, a warrior of light, a force that the universe itself protects. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. The most powerful chosen ones never realize their power at first. They struggle, they face betrayal, they feel lost, only to rise from the ashes like a phoenix, stronger than ever. And right now, something inside you is waking up. The signs have been appearing all around you. Whispers from the universe, nudges from the unseen realm, a feeling in your gut that you are meant for something much greater than this ordinary reality. In this video, we're uncovering 7 undeniable signs that prove you are one of the most powerful chosen ones. Some of these signs will shock you. Some will send chills down your spine. And if all 7 resonate with you, then make no mistake, you are here for something far beyond what this world understands. Stay with me till the end, because once you recognize these signs, your life will never be the same again. Are you ready to unlock these powerful signs? If you feel the energy calling you, type, "I am ready," in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because the universe is revealing something massive and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's begin. You live in 2 worlds at once. There is a strange feeling that follows you everywhere, as if you are both inside the world and outside of it at the same time. You move through life like an observer, watching a grand play unfold, noticing things that others seem blind to. While people around you are fully engaged in the rush of daily life, you often feel like you are standing at the edge, watching events happen rather than being completely absorbed in them. It's as if you are tuned into a different frequency, seeing layers of reality that others ignore. Conversations, routines, and ordinary moments sometimes feel distant, almost as though you are studying them rather than fully experiencing them. This makes it difficult to lose yourself in the flow of daily existence like most people do. Instead, you analyze, question, and notice details that others overlook, sensing something deeper beneath the surface. Time for you does not seem as fixed as it does for others. There are moments when it stretches endlessly, where a single minute feels like an hour. Other times, days vanish in the blink of an eye, as if reality itself speeds up or slows down, depending on something beyond your control. You may recall certain events happening more quickly than they logically should, or feel like you've lived through certain moments before, yet no one else seems to notice these shifts. This fluidity makes you question whether time is as rigid as people assume, or if it bends according to unseen forces. While others rely on clocks and calendars, you have an internal sense of time that does not always match the world's expectations. Your life often feels strangely scripted, as if events are unfolding according to a hidden plan that only you are partially aware of. You notice patterns that seem too precise to be coincidences, as if the universe is leaving breadcrumbs for you to follow. Déjà vu is a common experience. You enter a place for the first time, yet you feel as if you have already been there before. Random events line up in a way that seems orchestrated, and the more you pay attention, the more these patterns reveal themselves. It's not just a passing feeling. It's as though reality is communicating with you in a language most people never recognize. When you mention these experiences to others, They often dismiss them as imagination or randomness. But deep down, you know that something greater is at work, guiding you toward an unseen purpose. Dreams have never felt like simple stories playing in your mind while you sleep. Instead, they hold a different kind of reality, one that sometimes feels even more vivid and meaningful than waking life. In dreams, you receive messages, experience places you've never seen before, or even relive moments from a life that doesn't belong to this one. Sometimes you wake up with a deep certainty that what you saw wasn't just a dream, but something more, perhaps a vision, a warning, or even a glimpse into another version of reality. These experiences leave you questioning whether the world you wake up to each morning is the only one that exists. While others dismiss dreams as random thoughts, you understand that they hold secrets that are waiting to be unlocked. Engaging in small talk and everyday conversations can feel exhausting because your mind naturally seeks depth. While others enjoy discussing the weather, celebrity gossip, or daily routines, you crave something more. Conversations about the mysteries of existence, the nature of reality, and the unseen forces shaping the world. It's not that you don't care about others, it's just that your mind constantly moves beyond the surface, searching for meaning in places most people never think to look. Because of this, you often feel disconnected in social settings, struggling to find people who truly understand the way your mind works. Yet, despite feeling like an outsider, you know deep down that this perspective is a gift. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to see beyond. You have an invisible energy shield. There is something about you that people notice before they even see you. It's as if an invisible force surrounds you, making your presence known before you speak a single word. You walk into a room and heads turn, not always because of how you look, but because of something they feel. Some may glance over their shoulder without knowing why, sensing a shift in the atmosphere. It's not loud or aggressive, but it's undeniable. Even in a crowded space, your energy has a way of announcing itself, making people aware that something different has entered their environment. They may not understand what it is, but they feel it. People react to you in extreme ways, often without logical explanation. Strangers may walk up to you and share their deepest thoughts as if they have known you forever. They sense something safe, something unspoken that makes them open up without hesitation. At the same time, others seem uneasy around you, avoiding eye contact or keeping their distance. These people aren't necessarily unkind. They just don't know how to handle the energy you carry. It's as if they instinctively feel exposed in your presence, like something within them is being seen, even if you aren't looking for it. Without saying a word, you evoke trust in some and discomfort in others, simply because of the frequency you emit. Crowded places often leave you feeling drained, but it's not just because of noise or movement. It's the energy of the people around you. You unknowingly absorb what others put out, whether it's frustration, sadness, or fear. You don't just take in these emotions, you transform them, shifting the energy of a space without even trying. When you enter a tense environment, things begin to soften. People seem calmer, arguments fizzle out, and negativity fades. You might not always be aware of it, but your presence has an alchemical effect, turning heavy energy into something lighter. This ability, however, comes at a cost. By the end of the day, you might feel exhausted, carrying the emotional weight of a room without realizing it. You've taken what was unbalanced and made it whole, but in doing so, you've given away part of yourself. Manipulative people have a hard time getting close to you. Their usual tricks, The illusions they weave so effortlessly around others seem to fall apart in your presence. It's not that you confront them directly or call them out. It's that they sense, on some level, that their deception won't work on you. Something about your energy disrupts their game. They may attempt to test you, to see if they can pull you into their web, but they quickly realize it's useless. The more they try to manipulate, the more they find themselves tangled in their own lies. Without needing to do anything, you expose people for who they truly are. Those with good intentions are drawn to you, while those with hidden agendas either fear you or disappear entirely. Your emotions don't just stay inside you, they ripple outward, subtly influencing everything around you. When you're in a good mood, technology seems to work better. Lights flicker with warmth, and even plants respond to your presence. But when you are overwhelmed or upset, things tend to malfunction. Devices freeze, rooms feel heavier, and people around you become uneasy without knowing why. It's not about controlling others, but rather about the way your frequency interacts with the world. Your energy field extends far beyond your physical body, shaping the environment in ways most people can't see. Whether you realize it or not, you are a force that can shift reality itself, simply by existing. You learn through intuition, not instruction. You have always learned differently from those around you. While others rely on books, teachers, and step-by-step instructions, you seem to receive knowledge in a way that cannot be explained. Information arrives like a sudden download, fully formed and ready to be understood without the need for traditional learning. It's as if your mind is tuned into an unseen frequency where answers exist, and all you have to do is tap into it. Sometimes you say things with absolute certainty, even though you have never studied them. Later, you might discover that what you said was correct all along, leaving you wondering where this knowledge came from. Others may question how you know things without being taught, but for you, it's just the way your mind works. Because of this, traditional education often felt frustrating. Sitting in a classroom, listening to lessons that only scratched the surface, left you feeling empty. School was designed to teach formulas, facts, and structured thinking, but it never seemed to reach the deeper truths you were looking for. While others were satisfied memorizing what they were told, you constantly asked, why? But instead of being encouraged to seek those answers, you were often told to just follow the system. Learning felt restrictive, as if you were being forced into a box that was never meant for you. You may have excelled in certain subjects, but even then, the way they were taught never matched how you naturally absorbed knowledge. The world wanted you to learn by repetition, but you learned by insight. This deep connection to intuition gives you a rare ability to see the results of your choices before they even happen. When faced with a decision, you don't need to analyze every option in detail. You just know. There is an inner pull, a quiet voice guiding you, showing you which path will bring harmony and which will lead to struggle. While others hesitate, weighing pros and cons, you feel the outcome as if it has already happened. This doesn't mean you never make mistakes, but even when you do, you often sense the lesson unfolding before it fully arrives. Life itself seems to communicate with you through instinct rather than logic, allowing you to move through challenges with a sense of unseen guidance. Beyond just sensing your own path, you have a way of understanding people beyond their words. When someone speaks, you hear more than what they are saying. You hear what they truly mean. The tone of their voice, the hesitation in their words, the energy behind what they are expressing. It all forms a picture that is clearer than the words themselves. Because of this, you rarely fall for deception. You sense when people are hiding something, even if they never say it outright. This can be both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, it allows you to connect with others in a way that feels almost telepathic. On the other, it makes dishonesty stand out so clearly that it can be difficult to ignore. While many people take words at face value, you are constantly reading between the lines, uncovering the truth beneath the surface. Creativity and problem-solving come effortlessly to you, not because you follow set methods, but because you see possibilities others don't. Where someone else sees a wall, you see a hidden door. Where others see a problem, you see an opportunity waiting to be uncovered. Your mind doesn't work in a straight line. It jumps between ideas, making connections that seem impossible to those who rely on logic alone. Whether you are creating something new or solving a complex issue, your approach is often unconventional but effective. It's not about following instructions, it's about allowing ideas to flow naturally, revealing answers in ways that cannot always be explained. You have an unshakable connection to the unknown. There has always been something guiding you, something unseen yet deeply familiar. Even in your darkest moments, when everything seems uncertain, you never feel completely alone. There is an invisible force, a presence that whispers to you in ways that cannot be explained. It doesn't speak in words, yet you understand it. It appears in moments of doubt, offering comfort when you least expect it. Sometimes it arrives as a feeling of reassurance, like a gentle hand on your shoulder when no one is there. Other times, it manifests as an inner knowing, steering you away from danger or towards something greater. You cannot see it, yet its presence is undeniable. Then there are moments of sudden, overwhelming clarity, flashes of understanding that seem to come from nowhere. In the middle of an ordinary day, a realization will strike you so powerfully that it feels like a missing piece has fallen into place. These moments are not logical. They do not follow the usual process of learning. 1 second, you are lost in thought, and the next, a profound truth floods your mind as if it had been waiting to be remembered. These insights are not random. They arrive precisely when you need them, answering questions you hadn't even asked yet. Others may spend years searching for answers in books or discussions, but for you, wisdom arrives like a lightning bolt, sudden, bright, and undeniable. Your connection to the unknown goes even deeper. You often sense things before they happen, not through analysis or reason, but through something more instinctive, a feeling in your gut, a fleeting thought, a dream that lingers. It is as if the future occasionally sends ripples backward, and you are tuned in enough to notice. You may wake up with a strange certainty that something is about to unfold, and soon after, it does. A friend calls just when you were thinking about them. An event you predicted in passing comes true, though you have no idea how you knew. To others, this may seem like coincidence, but to you, it is simply part of how the world works. The patterns of time are not as rigid as people think, and somehow you have always been able to glimpse beyond the moment you are in. This connection reveals itself in other ways too. The universe speaks to you through signs, symbols, and synchronicities so precise that they cannot be ignored. A song plays at the perfect moment, carrying words that feel like they were meant just for you. A phrase in a book leaps out at you, answering a question you hadn't spoken aloud. You overhear a stranger say something that feels like a direct response to your thoughts. These messages do not come with explanations, yet they always find you at the right time. To most, they are just coincidences, but deep inside, You know better. These moments are not random. They are the language of the unseen, a form of communication between you and the vast intelligence that moves through all things. Perhaps the strongest sign of your connection to the unknown is the feeling that you have been here before. Life carries a strange familiarity, as if you are not experiencing things for the first time, but rather remembering them. Certain places, people, and experiences awaken something deep within you, stirring memories that do not belong to this lifetime. It is a sense of déjà vu that runs far deeper than the ordinary, a knowing that stretches beyond this single existence. It is as if your soul has walked this earth before, leaving behind traces that occasionally rise to the surface. You may not remember the details, but the feeling is undeniable. You are not new to this journey. You are simply continuing a path that began long ago. You are a natural disruptor. Wherever you go, things begin to shift. You don't have to try. It just happens. Systems that once seemed solid start to crack. Outdated rules unravel, and people who were comfortable in their illusions suddenly feel exposed. You are a disruptor, not because you seek chaos, but because you carry a truth that cannot be ignored. The world around you resists change, yet your very presence forces it. When you step into a space, stagnant energy begins to move. Structures that have outlived their purpose start to break down. You challenge the status quo without effort, simply by existing in a way that does not conform. Even if you remain silent, your energy speaks volumes. You are a reminder that what is rigid will eventually collapse, and those who benefit from the old ways sense this instinctively. People often feel uneasy around you, not because you do anything to provoke them, but because you make them see things they would rather avoid. You bring clarity where there was once comfort in ignorance. Lies, manipulation, and deception become glaringly obvious in your presence. You don't even have to call them out. Your energy alone makes people reveal themselves. Those who live in dishonesty may feel nervous around you, while those who seek truth are naturally drawn to you. It is not a gift you asked for, but it is one you cannot turn off. You expose what is hidden, not through confrontation, but through a deeper force that moves through you. Change follows you wherever you go, whether you seek it or not. You are not one to force things, yet your influence shifts the course of events. Others try to hold on to what is familiar, but your energy does not allow stagnation. When something is no longer serving its purpose, it falls apart in your presence. People who have been living under false pretenses either transform or fade from your life. Institutions that rely on control feel disrupted by your existence. Workplaces, social structures, even relationships, all of them feel the impact of your presence. You are not here to maintain what is outdated. You are here to usher in what is new. Because of this, those in positions of power often resist you. They sense the shift you bring, and they fear it. You are a threat to those who seek control, not because you actively fight them, but because you embody something they cannot manipulate. Systems built on illusion struggle to contain you. Rules designed to limit others never seem to apply to you in the same way. Whether it's in a workplace, an institution, or society at large, you do not fit into the mold they have created, and they know it. They may try to silence you, to make you conform, to weaken your influence, but it never works. You do not obey out of fear, and that alone makes you dangerous to those who thrive on keeping others in line. You have never been one to stay in one place for too long. Your energy is too expansive, too restless for repetition. The moment something feels stagnant, You feel the pull to move forward. It is not just physical movement. It is a shift in mindset, in purpose, in reality itself. Jobs, relationships, communities, what once fits you perfectly may suddenly feel too small. And when that happens, you know it is time to move on. Others may not understand this constant transformation, but you do. You are not meant to stay where you have outgrown. You are a disruptor, a force of change, and the path ahead is always calling you forward. You are a mirror for others. Wherever you go, you hold up a mirror to the people around you. Without trying, you reveal parts of them they might not want to see. This is why some people are drawn to you instantly, while others feel uneasy in your presence. It has nothing to do with what you say or do. Your energy alone forces people to confront themselves. If they are secure and at peace, they feel comforted by your presence. But if they are hiding from their own fears, insecurities, or unresolved emotions, they may project those feelings onto you. Some will see you as an inspiration, while others may see you as a threat. You bring out what already exists within them, and not everyone is ready for that level of reflection. Your presence amplifies emotions, making people either embrace their light or wrestle with their shadows. When you step into a room, things shift. If someone is full of love and kindness, they will feel more open and connected when they are around you. If someone is carrying anger, jealousy, or hidden pain, those feelings will rise to the surface. This isn't something you do on purpose. It's simply how your energy works. Some people feel liberated by this, as if you give them permission to be their true selves. Others feel exposed and uncomfortable, unable to hide behind their usual masks. They might lash out or push you away, but deep down, it's not you they are reacting to. It's their own reflection. Because of this, friendships and relationships with you tend to be all or nothing. There is rarely a middle ground. Some people become deeply connected to you, forming lifelong bonds. They appreciate the way you make them feel seen and understood. Others, however, leave your life suddenly and without explanation. One moment they are close, and the next they disappear. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's because they reached a point where they couldn't handle the intensity of what your presence revealed in them. Sometimes people are drawn to your light, but later realize they are not ready to face their own darkness. When this happens, they retreat, often making excuses that don't truly reflect the real reason they are leaving. You naturally attract those who are in need of healing. People sense that you carry something different, something they need but can't quite explain. Strangers may open up to you within minutes of meeting you, sharing their deepest fears and traumas. Even those who normally keep their walls up find themselves trusting you without knowing why. It is as if they recognize on a soul level that you have the ability to see them fully. This can be both a blessing and a burden. While you want to help, you often find yourself absorbing the emotions of others, feeling their pain as if it were your own. You may not always know how to set boundaries, and this can leave you drained. The more people lean on you, the harder it becomes to take care of yourself. Despite all of this, you often feel deeply misunderstood. You explain yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, but people still don't quite get it. It's not because you lack clarity, it's because your depth goes beyond what most people can comprehend. You see the world differently, process things on another level, and experience emotions in a way that is hard to put into words. No matter how much you share, it often feels like no one fully grasps the entirety of who you are. This can make you feel isolated at times, even in a crowded room. But despite this, you continue to be the mirror that reflects both the light and the shadows in others, even if they don't always recognize it. You've experienced reality breakdowns. There have been moments in your life when reality itself seemed unstable, as if the fabric of existence briefly unraveled before snapping back into place. You've seen things that defy explanation, objects disappearing and reappearing as if they never moved, clocks jumping forward or backward in ways that no one else seems to notice, or events that feel eerily familiar as if you've already lived them before. Sometimes it's as subtle as hearing a phrase before someone actually says it, or as shocking as witnessing an event that later seems to have never happened. These strange occurrences make you question whether reality is as fixed as most people believe. You've had times where you weren't sure if something truly happened or if it was just a trick of the mind, but deep down, you know you didn't imagine it. On certain days, you feel like the world around you has shifted, as if you've stepped into a slightly different version of reality. Something feels off, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Maybe a place you've been to 100 times suddenly looks different, or someone you know remembers an event completely differently than you do. You wonder if timelines are shifting, if you are somehow slipping between versions of reality while others remain unaware. It's a feeling of disorientation, a quiet knowing that things have been altered. While most would brush these feelings off as coincidence or forgetfulness, you can't shake the sense that you are witnessing something much deeper, perhaps even the universe resetting itself in ways beyond comprehension. Synchronicities have become too precise and too frequent for you to dismiss them as mere chance. You might think of someone you haven't seen in years, only for them to call you that same day. A random phrase might appear on a billboard, a song lyric, or a passing conversation, perfectly answering a question you were silently asking. Certain numbers might appear repeatedly in ways that defy probability, as if something is guiding you toward a deeper truth. Unlike those who overlook these moments, you see them for what they are, signs that reality is more connected and intentional than most people realize. While skeptics would call them coincidences, you understand that they are threads in a larger pattern, pieces of a puzzle that hint at something beyond the physical world. There have also been times when you felt completely detached from your own body, as if you were watching yourself from the outside. It's a strange sensation, as if your consciousness has momentarily stepped away, leaving you as an observer rather than a participant. You might catch your reflection and not fully recognize yourself, or feel like you're hovering just outside your physical form, looking in. These moments don't frighten you. They intrigue you. They make you wonder whether your consciousness is truly confined to your body or if it extends far beyond it. While others feel fully grounded in their physical form at all times, you've experienced the eerie realization that your awareness can separate, even if only briefly, hinting at a truth few ever consider. Perhaps most puzzling of all are the random surges of euphoria that strike you without warning. One moment, you are simply going about your day, and the next, you are overwhelmed by a sudden, indescribable joy. It isn't tied to any specific event. It's as if the universe itself has briefly lifted the veil and allowed you to glimpse something magnificent. It feels like a rush of pure energy, a moment of total clarity where everything makes sense, even if you can't put it into words. It's as if, for a brief moment, you are in perfect harmony with existence, sensing an invisible force that most people never notice. These fleeting moments leave you with an unshakable certainty that reality is far more mysterious and interconnected than the world acknowledges. You are constantly being tested. Before your breakthrough, just when you think you're about to reach the next level in life, everything seems to fall apart. Challenges that feel almost too big to handle appear out of nowhere, testing your patience, resilience, and inner strength. It's as if the universe is placing one final obstacle in your way, watching to see if you truly have what it takes to move forward. These aren't minor setbacks. They are the kind that shake your faith, make you question everything, and push you to your limits. Right when success is within reach, something unexpected happens. A financial crisis, a betrayal, an opportunity slipping through your fingers. It feels unfair, exhausting, and almost like the world is conspiring against you. But deep down, you know that this moment is not meant to break you. It's meant to prepare you. Because every time you face these trials, something greater has always come after. One of the most painful parts of growth is losing people along the way. You've seen it happen too many times. Right before you step into a new phase of your life, certain friendships, relationships, or connections start to dissolve. People who once felt like family begin to feel distant. Misunderstandings arise out of nowhere, or you simply drift apart with no clear reason. At first, it's heartbreaking. You wonder if you did something wrong, if you could have held on a little longer. But as time passes, you start to realize something deeper. Those people were never meant to continue with you. Their role in your life was tied to the version of you that is now fading away. They were part of your past self, not your future. And though the loss hurts, you begin to understand that it is clearing space for the right people, the ones who will align with who you are becoming. At certain points, life presents you with choices that seem small on the surface but carry massive consequences beneath them. These moments are crossroads, disguised as everyday decisions. You may be faced with a job offer that would give you financial security but no real fulfillment, or a relationship that feels safe but lacks true connection, or a chance to take a risk that terrifies you but could change everything. These choices are not just random events. They are carefully placed tests, forcing you to decide between comfort and purpose. The easy path is tempting. It feels safe, but every part of your soul tells you that the harder choice is the one meant for you. It's not just about success or failure. It's about alignment. The universe isn't testing your ability to make the right choice. It's testing your willingness to trust yourself. Before you find your true tribe, the people who truly understand and support you, you will have to walk alone. This is one of the hardest lessons, and yet one of the most necessary. There will be times when you feel completely isolated, misunderstood, and disconnected. The people around you may not see things the way you do. You may feel like you're speaking a language no one else understands. It's during these moments of solitude that you learn the most about yourself. You are being shaped, strengthened, and prepared for the connections that are truly meant for you. Because when you finally meet the people who see you for who you really are, there will be no doubt. You will recognize them instantly, not because they fill an emptiness, but because they match the person you've become. And then comes the final test, the one that pushes you to your absolute edge. It will be the moment where everything you've learned is put to use. This test won't be obvious at first, but when it comes, you will know. It could come in the form of a major loss, a difficult decision, or a moment where you are forced to confront your deepest fear. This test is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal you. Everything you have experienced has led up to this moment. It is the point where you must decide whether to rise into your true self or remain trapped in your old patterns. The choice is yours, and how you respond will shape everything that follows.